your plane, land your plane, land your plane, land your plane.
Love you, pretty.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for boarding with Land Your
Bye,
Plane
mommy.
podcast. It's going down out here. For Fright Family, welcome back, man. What's going on with y'all? Y'all already know what it is. First time flyers. Thank you for checking me out. Do me a favor, man. Stay for a little bit. Sit back, relax. And if you like the content, you know what to do, man. Comment, share it, and subscribe, man. I'm here with my flight attendants today. Introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Reese.
I'm LaShonda.
It's your boy Money Bag Extraordinaire. I put the money in the bag so extraordinaire, aka Gemini, aka Let's Get It.
34 and a half from your favorite cousin from an auntie and uncle you ain't even know you had. And I'm ready to take this flight.
Let's do it. How y'all feeling out there, man? What's going on with y'all?
Feeling
I woke
good.
up today.
Feeling good.
I just boarded this plane.
I'm fake pissed. My internet is
Oh,
paid,
shit.
but they saying it's a breakdown. I better get some money back, bitches.
You ain't getting shit back.
Well, I'm not applauding to that. I'm applauding to y'all. I didn't
Now
want to do it
listen,
right after
right?
you said that.
They better give me some
I'm
payback.
applauding to y'all. Applauding to you.
I need an
Everybody
extra
on the
day.
panel and you at home, man. Thank you. Thank you for being here today, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Today we're doing a one-way trip, man. We ain't got no system for you today. We're doing a Royal Rumble. We throwing everything on the floor, man, and we gonna just chit chat, shoot shit. You know what it is today. Um, copy. All right, my bad. Um, ladies, y'all want to start with one? Y'all had something, Shonda?
Okay. I have a question for the guys, kind of more so. I hear us men talk about it a little bit more. So, if you're dating someone, how do you know that they're the one or are they like a placeholder? How do you kind of determine that? How do you know for sure?
Fellas, yeah, jump out, whoever.
uh, I see it in time. Your actions, it has to fit. You know what I mean? It's a shortcut version. It just has to fit. I'm not saying perfect. Nothing is perfect. It's a work in progress. It's your soul. Look saying everything to me. Present yourself well with the inside, right? Meaning, you know what I mean, kind hearted, good, and all that. You know what I mean? Just enjoyable to be around. I'll see that. And it's a connection thing through time. So I say time. Placeholder is like when I was dealing with the street at the moment. This is what it was. I don't see it going as farther than a couple weeks. That's a placeholder. That's for now. So it's just different for me.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Is someone playing music? Because it's hard to hear you.
Sorry, that was you. Let's put this on. Just the energy you bring, right? In time, and I'll see it. Don't overdo it. Don't do too much. Placeholders, I put them there. So you don't really do nothing for me. It's just for the moment. But I'll see it for the long run, what it really is through time. That's basically what I was saying. I land.
I would say initially I didn't date, at least as in a grown up, thinking about somebody being forever or a placeholder or whatever that actually means in those words. Um, I think that those definitions of a relationship are probably, I don't want to say they're a feminine way of looking at things because that's going to seem attacking. But
Right, right.
for me personally, I think that initially, for me, I guess I can only speak for all men or whatever, but for me, initial dating was just to get some pussy. So I wasn't thinking about, oh, is this person forever? Can I get pussy from them forever? It was just the initial couple of dates or whatever amount of time it took to do that was just to accomplish that goal. And then I think, not to echo what Jim and I was saying, but I think that time made me go, you know what? I like being around this person besides that, or whatever. You know what I mean? Or, stuff like that. I think, or, you know, those things that are connected to that. Because I don't think, like, oh, should I take this person's number? I wonder if should I be taking this person's phone number because they forever? I don't think at least for me, it doesn't work like that. It never worked like that. It was more or less, I guess I don't want to say a placeholder, but it was just more like for the time, for what's going on right now. And I wasn't thinking about, I'm like, people say they're dating to marry and they dating for intention and all of that stuff that you see women post or whatever.
I think placeholders is like, like that little. If you're the in crowd, like the cheerleader and the football, the quarterback. You know what I mean? They ain't there forever. So those are placeholders.
No, I know,
They're for the moment.
I know what the word
No, no, no.
placeholder.
I'm not. I'm not giving it to you. I'm not giving a breakdown. I agree with you. Like this,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
placeholder is. You feel me? The placeholder is what we're talking. What we said. Like it's right now for the moment. I'm not looking for long term. Okay? I'm 17 years old. So you know what I mean? Like you're
Even
gonna
if
go
I'm
age
older,
limit. I was about to say if you're going age limit, placeholders will be that. Even though you can start from there, you can get it from there. But like when you hit your 25s, you start looking for that long term type shit.
that's what he's speaking for himself. Also, I'm speaking for myself. Still continuing this conversation. I think that to some extent, at least for me, again, is a difference from what he said because I feel like I probably wasn't realizing I was looking for ever at a younger age, but due to heartbreak and all of that, relationships do seem possibly more momentary. You know what I mean? And feeling like, oh, I could do something wrong and I won't see this person again. So it's less of the word of what a placeholder is, but more of just a reality that this might be temporary. And I don't want to be too invested into this, not because I don't think they could be forever. It's just that I don't think nothing can last forever. People die, people get sick. I can fuck up. I don't know how I'm gonna fuck up. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's just not knowing I can't live up to somebody's expectations because I feel like a lot of times people in relationships want you to be perfect. So it's like I know I'm not perfect. So you saying you love me today, but okay, yeah, I love you too. But I don't think it's really an identification of, like I said, the placeholder thing of, oh, I'm waiting to find somebody. I'm not gonna say that can never happen that you couldn't find somebody, but I don't think somebody's looking for that. I think they like, at least, well, I can't speak for nobody but myself. I'm just looking for somebody else to suck some dick. That's it. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking, oh, they gonna replace her. I'm just saying for this moment right here, I can get some head. All right, that's cool. You know what I mean? I'm not hoping that this newer person could be that much better than the person I'm already with. I'm just also again still looking to get some services. You know what I mean? Not thinking about those levels of relationship. At least that's me personally. I can't speak for nobody else, but just for me. And I'm an asshole or whatever. So I guess I'll land with that.
It's Blue Blend. It's Blue Blend.
Thank you, Quack McDuck.
Placeholder, placeholder. Yeah, I don't agree all the way with Mo, but I kind of agree. Like going into a relationship, it was never the first thing to like, oh yeah, I'm about to when I get in a relationship, who I'm about to spend my rest of my life with. And I've been in relationships where I still it still hasn't been proved to me that I'm not saying all women, but I can speak it for myself that it hasn't been like something sought after. I watched my parents; they did the best they could, and what they presented to me was to stick together. You feel me through the thick and the thin. And they didn't do it till life do us part. However, what they the thing that they put before me, and I see it today. I want that. That's what I would want. I would want a family to stick together and support who I can support throughout that. You feel me? Kids, grandchildren, and like I enjoyed that growing up.
Can I interrupt
And
real quick? My apology. Can I interrupt you real quick?
like I had,
They didn't do it to death. Did they do them part?
nah, they kind of broke up.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought, yeah, I would thought they would have been an example of somebody who did that. Yeah, that's
Yeah, they kind of. It wasn't like a divorce, but it was. They kind of broke up, and not with their separate ways. But after my mother passed, my dad had to do him. So it was
yeah.
like
I mean,
up
that's
into that
that,
point.
but that's death do you part when they pass. You know what I mean? That's not.
Well, I know I'm talking about before that. It
Yeah, I
was.
know.
It
I
was
get what you're
kind of.
saying. I was, yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know they. Yeah.
Nah, respectful. So like, even with that being said, like I said, that showed me that I wanted my dad showed me how the man that I would want to be. If I had a role model, that was that man right there. That's what I would want to do for my family, my wife. You feel me? Significant other. And as far as when, like, if I get in a relationship, when you ask when do they become or when do I see them as a placeholder or you feel me? Um, I haven't seen that in my relationships. I don't, and it could be a reflection of me. It could be because I haven't healed from all my stuff, so I just attract, brokenness. But I haven't seen it. I haven't seen something that was that put that light on my head. Like you feel me? So yeah. Um, I land with that. V, welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Hey,
evening.
Mother
V.
Earth.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. How you doing?
All right.
Doing
How
well.
you
Thank
feeling?
you. Thank you. As always, thank you for inviting me into your space.
Respectfully, respectfully. Safe space on the today. Soul
Was
plane.
that was that a good answer for you, LaShawn?
Yeah, that cleared
Yeah.
it
Did
up.
you like them?
Yeah, I think that was very helpful because um I also think women need to hear what you guys said because I think that's really important because we do have different language, right? When we go into relationships. So I think it's important to hear, some men's point of view when you're thinking, oh, this is how it is. No, that's how it is for you. But that doesn't mean that's what
Yeah.
the man's thinking or whatever. So I'm glad you got to share that. So thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And again, like I said, we only speak for us ourselves is different because we have our own opinions too. But still, yeah, I can't. Yeah, I've never, and I been a cheater before. Yes, I've been a cheater, but I never was cheating with the intent of going. I hope this person can replace this person. Like I'm out. I wonder who. Oh, I'm looking for somebody that's better or greater. It had nothing to do with that. It was just nasty. I'm just nasty. That's what it came down to. It. That's all it came. It's not nothing a replacement. I think the best way to see if somebody sees you as a replacement is if they replace you. And replacement would mean they're done with you and they're just sticking with that person. You know what I mean? That's the best replacement. Like other than that, is not really. There's no idea of them replacing you if they still if they if even if a guy cheating or whatever, and they still fucking with you, they definitely didn't find your replacement. Can't be a
Right.
placeholder. You know what I mean? You can't be holding a letter, a placeholder, whatever you want to call it. It can't be that. Then if they still
Nah,
fucking with you, you're not a placeholder.
And I want to ask Shonda a
it's
question.
crazy because
What's your definition of a placeholder?
Again, probably just
Um, I kind of think it's kind of what you guys said. It's like a
Is it
person.
reference to the? Well, my bad. Cut your wisdom. Is it
No, no.
reference to the male or a female?
Um, I think it's probably something a female might say. Like you guys said, I don't necessarily think guys think that way.
Hmm.
On a whole, of course, there's exceptions to everything, but but I do think that sometimes I think we get in our head like, oh, well, maybe he's just doing that for right now. Maybe he doesn't love me, or maybe he's not vested, or maybe something else is going on. And you guys expressed it beautifully. Like, if I'm trying to get to know you, I'm trying to get to know you to see where this goes. But I also think sometimes as women, we might overthink some things, and put more layers in there than what's actually going on. So for me, like, the placeholder might be in the beginning when you're just dating someone to see if it even works, if there's even a match. Um, the other part could be, I'm not necessarily in love with you, but maybe we vibe on some level, but not maybe all, as many levels as I would call like someone who's a girlfriend or whatever. But we might vibe on this one level, or it might just be sexual that we're vibing on. And then that's it. So I think sometimes in a woman's head, we might put that in a category as like, oh, okay, I'm just holding the place here. I'm not really girlfriend material, or I'm not this. Does that make
I
sense?
think it does. As you saying it, honestly, it made me think that that's probably how women might possibly be cheating.
Mm.
No, if you know what I mean, they might
I
be
wouldn't
coming
even
from
say
that idea.
cheating. Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
But I'm just saying they might be thinking about that. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think that's how men think. I don't. We did a story on the show yesterday about why they were saying why you should never take an ex back. They said because she didn't find a better option. That's why she's getting back with you or whatever. And I guess that could be unisexual in a way. You know what I mean? I guess it could be.
Mhm.
However, I think that that's is not connected. It's not for everybody. I just think that it's just the way nobody's thinking. I don't. I have never. I know a lot of guys I talk to who have been faithful, unfaithful, different things, and none of the people that I've talked to who have been cheaters ever said, "Yeah, I can't wait to find me a better bitch than this one I got." It's never. I've never heard like, why are you out here? Like, why are you out here? I've never heard a guy say that. If anything, that's why you always hear a lot of times when guys cheat, they cheat with somebody who's not even better than the girl they got in a lot of ways because it's not an idea of finding somebody better. Like if it was the idea of finding somebody better, every time somebody cheated, it would be with somebody better. It wouldn't just be with
that's
just the
crazy.
person who they have access to. It would be if that was the definite, like the reasoning behind it. She would look better. She would make more money. You know what I mean? She would have all these things that a person go, damn, oh, they might be trying to find somebody. No, it's not like that. This is the person who's willing to do what I needed to do at the time I needed him to do it. So this is cool. They cool for that. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You get what I'm saying?
every uh, uh, I think it's called speed dating. You feel me? Like in and out.
I'm gonna
It depends on
disagree with
what
the
you want.
point.
Huh?
I said I'm gonna disagree with the point because if you're treating that person better than your partner, obviously there is some type of replacement level at that point.
I would say
To
probably
me,
treatment
to me,
is.
or to
She's
Dirk.
saying
No,
it's
no, I'm
the
saying in
topic.
general.
Yeah, I would say to
Oh,
me, treatment is a two-way street. I would think possibly. So I would say that just because, and it also can be illusional, delusional or illusional. I know that in my life when I've thought people were treating somebody better than they treating me. That's usually my thought of it. It's not an actuality. That's usually my belief that they're getting better. Oh, they're doing this, or they're not getting this, but or they're getting this, and they're not getting this thing from you. It's like I realize that the reality of life is I'm probably tied into some of that of what I'm getting and not getting. That I might play a part in it, and that person might not be playing that part. Of course, if you're coming home complaining about washing dishes, you're not complaining to the girl who's sucking your dick in the car about washing dishes. You're not complaining to her about, you know, why the tub's dirty. Y'all don't even live together. So the complaints and the list of things that would be brought up to that person is different, and the interactions with that person will be different based on the things that the connections y'all have that you might not have with this other person. You get that
I
point right
would
there a little
say
bit.
placeholder sound like another word for a side piece because if I'm coming into the relationship, I first of all I approached you. Now the next one I set up the date. My back's to the door. I'm watching. I'm protecting you. Next joint. I set up the next day. I set up the date. You feel me? Whether it's in a hiking, a picnic, I'm still doing the things that I would do naturally and normally as a husband. So and that's probably why I haven't seen it because a lot of these chicks have been moving like the placeholder or the side piece, and not the wife. Because when it's time to probably get serious and move in together and really tie the knot, and now actually act like you feel me, stop acting like husband and wife, and let's actually do it. This is when the tension or now that the truth comes out, so called. You feel me? Or cold feet or whatever the fuck happens. It does it now. The roles are now all of a sudden nobody wants to play these damn roles. But if you the placeholder, as far as accepting the dates, accepting all right, yeah, you can see me Friday. I want to see you and putting all of these things to say that I want to qualify for you as a wife, because you don't just want to be somebody's girlfriend for damn ever. That's not what we out here doing. So the placeholder shit it don't sound crazy to me. It don't sound like it's coming from a place like where she would be actually trying to be vetted to be somebody's wife. It sound like not a prostitute, but a side piece. That's how she's moving. And I don't think that if she's moving like that, what else is she's not really wanting anything else out of that. I don't know. I could be wrong, or how my viewpoints is wrong. V, you came in on placeholder. We was getting thoughts on what a placeholder is, and I was asking Lashonda, what is it? What's her definition? What is it? So I could get y'all. We can go around the plane. What's your definition? What's your thoughts on it? Placeholder.
Well, this is the first time I really ever heard the terminology placeholder.
Me too.
So, but I would think it's what you said, like a side piece, or she's filling up space to meet a need. I mean, I had an old timer tell me once, this was years ago. He had like the 70%, 30% philosophy about, he said like the main woman, most women can only meet up to 70% of your needs. So you always have like someone who can fill the space for the other 30%. So, when I think of a space holder, it could be some dynamic similar to that. But it sounds like it's a side, she's would be a side piece. And I
That's what it
land with
sounds like to
that.
me.
I don't think it's being used in that definition of what she's meaning. She means like you're dating somebody, and instead of you thinking about taking that relationship seriously when you're out, and I might be wrong, so she can say it, but it's like when you're out in that relationship, when you are outside of that relationship, or even while you're in it, obviously, I'm assuming you're going to still be outside looking. You're hoping for a person that can probably replace the person that you have already. That you already are slightly committed to that person, but only for the moment until you find a replacement. They're
Okay.
just they're
Okay.
just holding. They're just in your bed. They're just in your house. They're in your life. But your outside mind is hoping that you can find somebody who can replace that person.
Ah, okay.
That's what I
Okay.
thought
Majority
of
of
it
people
as, and
are
that's why I
moving
was.
like that.
Okay.
I I I
Okay.
And that's
I
why.
I thought of the same way too. To me,
And that's why I was
like
responding the
Okay.
way I was, saying that, you know what I mean, that I don't think, when, at least for me personally, like I said, I don't think I think, like, even with you, like the guy you're saying, he's not even talking about placeholder, the 70-30 guy. He's not talking about somebody replacing somebody. He's
Mm-hmm.
saying somebody can add on to what's going on. He's not. So he
Mm-hmm.
still needs. If anything, he's going to still need that 70 girl. He's saying that there's going to be one person who has almost everything, but these other people, he's saying, that's going to be taking that other 30% up. They can't replace the 70% girl. They're not even on the same level. How could they ever
Yeah.
replace that person? So you know what I mean. I think that's what I took it as. And again, I only got my GED, so I might have assumed or misinterpreted it. But
Yeah,
again, like,
yeah, I'm like I said, from you reinterpreting it and saying that women might not think it that way. I would say the women that's not thinking that way are the ones, even if we've been in this relationship for 2 months, 3 months. I would think that me doing what I'm doing is not showing or saying that, listen, I'm doing everything to show you that I'm taking this relationship serious. I'm a serious ass guy. I'm one of those guys that you should take serious. This is what you feel me. I'm moving like a man. No, if she's doing that and accepting that, and I can speak for myself, majority of the women have. I said up until this point just accept it, and there was no intrinsic things connection being met along the way. It was majority is out of the material, what I can do for you, what you can do for me. Probably some of it was sexual, and then when you outgrow people, and then the things that we bonded on are irrelevant now. It wasn't really intrinsic. It wasn't. You feel me? It wasn't really nothing. That's how I interpret it. Get from it.
So
D, I think you were about to say something, or
no, no,
Lashana?
I was only thing I okay, because I came in a little late. So the question was posed by Lashonda.
Okay, you can pose it again, Lashonda. What was your question?
Yeah. So, yeah, Dirty had it right. Like what you were saying about the placeholder. Like I was asking because I was wondering if it's a woman thing, man thing, whatever, is are men thinking about like women if you're dating them at the moment, are you thinking of them as like, okay, I'm going to date you till someone better comes along, like a placeholder or something like that. But yeah, that's how I was kind of phrasing it to kind of get their input and to see how they viewed things. And I think you're all right, actually, because of the way your perspective, Delanucci came from it from a different perspective. So I think they're both right in the sense of what you're saying. And I kind of agree with both of them. But I was curious just to hear, like, is what I was thinking kind of what you guys are thinking or what's going on in your heads was really more kind of getting that insight of it. Because I wonder if women sometimes think, am I the placeholder? Am I the one? Is he thinking that I'm the one? Or is he, just going along with it until something better happens? That kind of thing. That's how I kind of phrase this scenario, sort of.
Respectfully, you got it. D? You want to answer?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have nothing to add to that, really. It's really a question for the guys. Yeah.
it was.
I know. I just tried to reverse it and get your thoughts on it. Like, what's your thoughts on it, placeholder or you feel me?
I think women can do the same thing, especially nowadays. I think women have taken on a lot more non-traditional type of attitudes about relationships, what is considered traditional by society standards anyway. So I think women can sometimes have quote unquote a placeholder, Oh, that's hey Sonny.
Sunny Moon in the building. What up?
Hello, how you guys doing?
What's
What
good,
up,
my girl?
cuz?
what's happening, Sonny?
You walked in on placeholder. Shonda had posted a question, I guess, to the fellas, and we was just getting. I was trying to get the ladies' thoughts, but they was just saying it was a male directed question. You want to give your thoughts on a placeholder or a definition?
No, I want to listen a little more. I think I missed so much. I want to hear. I want to hear.
You said what?
I'm going to wait till the next one. I want to hear.
She's
I
gonna wait
want.
till we have a layover.
Respectfully. All right, we'll do first question. If women can't image a man and he feels like women are not up to par, does this man have trauma, or is he not in tune with his sexuality of being a DL man?
What?
What?
Whoa. Whoa.
Wait, what?
Did you guys
You
watch the
actually,
video? Wait. Did you watch the video?
I
I didn't
didn't.
get to watch the video. I just copied and pasted the questions. I didn't get to watch the video.
Okay, these questions that I gave, and these are my questions. So let's be clear here that he's repeating, right?
Go ahead.
It can be a video, and there's questions that come beyond that question. I think that was the last question. I like that. I like that for you. But okay, I'll move forward. But thank you, Della. And if you want, I can send it to you. You know, I don't know.
No,
But go
I
ahead.
got the video in there. We just won't be able to play it. You could give us a heads up, and then you could ask the question to us,
Oh, the heads up.
or we could start.
Okay.
We could start with your answer. So you feel me?
Okay. Can you okay. Can we go over that question one more time, please?
Do you got the question on you?
Oh, that was cute. No, I don't. 'Cause I'm using the same phone.
All right, I got you.
My questions, yeah.
I got you.
I wasn't.
It says, if women can't image a man and he feels like women are not up to par, does this man have trauma, or is he not in tune with his sexuality of being a DL man? And then give us reference to the story so we know your answer.
Wow. Okay. So, in the video, can you hear me? Is it delay? Okay. So in the video, there is a gentleman and a woman, and the gentleman says he's transitional. Sorry, he's
Female to
trans.
male or
Transgender?
No, sorry. My brain is racing and I'm nervous, so do apologize, you guys. I don't do public speeches like this. Okay. He's transition. He's I want to say transitional so bad. I'm sorry. I'm doing this gay thing. And
Traditional.
Yes. He's transitional. Yes. And he wants his woman. No woman can like bear him. He's the prize. And the woman was asking questions as if saying like, okay, so what if I do carry the same thing you carrying? Well, it comes to income, rather comes take care of myself, rather being a 1% woman, just as you're a 1% man. Are we not an equal? And why wouldn't you be okay with showing me that? Meaning you want to be the prize. And she's stating like, the woman's supposed to be the prize. Why wouldn't you want to show me that you care? Why wouldn't you want to, basically saying like, why wouldn't you want to touch me? Why wouldn't you want to talk to me? Why wouldn't you want to be part of, making me feel good, even if it's just in that moment? Like, you're the prize, so we're only focusing on what you got going on. And on top of that, you still don't see me as a woman. But I want you guys to see the video though. Me answering that question is, I don't think he's a DL man, but it makes him sound like one. When you're putting too much negativity on a woman as if she could never be like an more of an idol, like you're putting her as like a sexual idol, or maybe you're being more degrading, making it seem like no woman could ever like be a part of what you got going on because they're not up to your level. It's giving off, DL. Too much negativity is kind of crazy. Like really, you don't see no future, or you don't see, you can't imagine another woman being a part of you. It's kind of weird if you're a homosexual man. And I land.
I guess let's go around the plane. Who got some thoughts on that? Ladies, want to go first, or y'all want to circle around?
I have to admit, I don't understand.
I'm not sure if this is in reference to the video, but I do. I think I was watching. No, I've been watching this show. It's called Couples Therapy. I think it's on Showtime.
Okay.
and there was a
But
transition.
he's transitioning to a woman.
No,
You're on
that,
mute.
Not that. It's but that word wouldn't leave my mouth if I apologize. Like it wasn't Dirty said it. It's still not allowing me. I'm nervous, you guys. Forgive me. Um it's not
Tr-
transsexual or
traditional man.
thank you. Thank you. It's
Oh,
not, sorry.
traditional, not transition. Okay.
Trend,
Traditional.
oh, like a traditional man, like
traditional.
a wholesome Christian man.
Traditional. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
That's what.
old. He's
Yeah.
old
Okay.
school. He
He
don't want
said that.
no
Yeah.
harlot, no Jezebel.
Okay, so he's
Right.
saying he doesn't want any woman because they're not on his level.
No, he
He
said he
said
doesn't
he
want
can't
to follow a
imagine like
woman. You
right.
He
He
can't be
doesn't.
doesn't he
equal.
said
You
he's
can't
a
be equal.
pride.
We're
He
not
feels like
They're
he's
equal.
a
beneath
pride,
him.
and he doesn't have any like he doesn't see no standard of her. Like even if you are a 1% woman as well as I'm a 1% man, you are your he's still the prize. And I'm like, well, that's fine. She said that. Like, why can't we both be the prize? And he was just like, nah, that's not how it works. And so that's why when I'm saying when you're speaking, I don't think men understand that we have so much gay undercover going on that women are going like this and saying like just. I wanted to get a chance to give an opinion of a man without feeling like maybe he does love a woman, you know, and only think of a woman, but the words is coming out and you know is making people feel different. That's
What I
I get it.
sense
Yeah,
Okay.
intuitively is
just
that he
keep,
loves himself.
putting him down and saying all this other crazy shit about it. And regardless, I'm not saying that you gotta be up a woman's ass and putting and upholding every damn woman. Every woman ain't, you feel me, like that. However, a
Are
man,
they
yeah,
sexually involved?
going on a crazy ass rant every time or being caught every time in a crazy ass rant um to women, yeah, it does give off some like, come on, bro, what's going on? You feel me? There's no reason in all goddamn day fucking you talking about goddamn women. So
Are
yeah,
they
I get what
sexually
you're saying.
involved?
Yes.
Oh,
they
okay.
weren't they were dating. I mean, they were on beside each other. It's like a 2%er show. I forgot the name. It's on the clip. I wasn't really focused on that, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So they're talking as if they're ready to date, and this question came up, and that's what was the battle.
Okay. Now I
Right.
kind of guess I get it. I mean, I'm going to answer it the best I think that I can because I'm still a little confused on it. But I don't think that a man putting down a woman means that he's on the down low because some men do think that they're up here and women are here. And that doesn't automatically put off gay to me. But I think that that's more of like a power trigger type thing where they feel they're in power and then you're like a servant. So that's more what it's putting off to me, more of like, I'm the king, you're my servant, you do what I tell you to do when I tell you to do it. So I don't necessarily think that it's putting off gay vibes, maybe disrespectful vibes, but not, I don't necessarily think gay vibes. I'm gonna land with that if I answered it correctly, if I got somewhere in the ballpark.
No, respectfully, I would say, yeah, if you gotta, then why you even have her around? Don't even have her around. If you the king and people is beneath you, put people in position that is gonna do what you say. So you ain't gotta be barking at motherfuckers. That's
Delanuge.
what I would
Now
say. Because
you know your boy, right? He feels the same way.
respectfully, I'm just
So
saying
it's
that
not, I don't think that necessarily that it's I'm gonna put somebody. You're never gonna find if you always think you're in power and a woman's a servant. You're never gonna find somebody that you think is equal to you. You're always gonna find a woman as a servant. You're not gonna ever find somebody that you're gonna put on your level at that point if you feel like you're a king and they're a servant.
And that's probably part of the attraction, the idea of being over somebody. So the idea of them being DL or wanting a nigga, they wouldn't want to equal. They don't want to equal. That's why when the girl was saying how, what if I get the same money as you? What if I do all of that? That's like saying, what if I had the same body as you? It's the same thing. He's not
Mhm.
going to see somebody as his equal, and that's not what attracts him. Some
Mhm.
people, and now we live in a society where, like you said, he's being traditional. That's old school views. Now society is all about an equal thing. Everybody being equal. Oh, we're this, we're the same, or it even gives off the illusion of equal because when men all worked and women stayed home, the idea of a woman's place. I'm not saying that's the order. I'm not. I'm not gonna. Yeah. the idea of that was more like cemented. But the fact that now, oh, you have a job or you have these other things, now you feel like, oh yeah, yeah, we understand, we understand. We both going to work. We both, like da da da. That's not how. That's not a thing that is put into men a lot of times. Some men feel like Mega, who or whatever, and then you have other men, yeah, who do feel like I am a man, I am a king, I am royalty, and the highest person in a royal area would be a king, and that person would want people under that. Is a queen high in a kingdom? Yes, but she's still under the king. She's not. They're not equal. They don't have to go debate about whether or not what we're having at the thing. Whatever the king says is what happens. Can the queen put some suggestions up? Like, yo, I think we should have muffins at the party. She can say that, but if the king says no, we're not having no muffins at this party. This is not a muffin party. There ain't no muffins at the party, and like so it's like most likely,
Respectfully,
at
it goes
least for
back to
me personally.
what almost to what I think oh no, we did move. It almost goes back to what Lashana was talking about as far as placeholder, and I wanted to add to that. Feminism is it tricked and programmed a lot of these females' minds. So when, as far as me trying to view, like you said, the placeholder, or me viewing a girl out of the nine, you got to get through the motherfucking feminism. You got to get through all of the shit that their mind has been warped and programmed with, versus like he's saying to right now. If she doesn't see me as the king, or then what the hell what are he doing? You feel me? Obviously, there's a lot of mind warping and things that's, you feel me, going on in her head, that you got to unwrap. You got to reprogram it to get with your program. But she's already promoting. You feel me? Promoting some other shit, which you do, and then sometimes unknowingly they don't even know until they sit in front of some real shit and really, talk to, communicate, and you find out where their thought patterns coming from. And most of their thought pattern be coming out of somebody else's head. They don't even have their own way of thinking, type shit. Tad. I think V, you were saying something.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't. I'm just taking it all in because this is a very interesting. Um, Thank you, Sonny, for bringing this to the table. This is very interesting because at first I definitely was like thinking, about transitional. But when I think of traditional men, I think this particular attitude is across different boards, should I say, for lack of a better term. I mean, because you can encounter that type of attitude in a church environment, which I have, just as much as you can encounter it on the corner of the street. I think it's a very interesting dynamic, where if the man feels, I'm the superior one, and women are beneath me, but then I think because of that attitude also is what triggered feminism per se. And I think feminism failed in certain ways, but it succeeded in other ways. Because if I'm married, where before women used to have to get permission from men about everything, even going to the doctors. I would have to get my father or brother or grandfather, somebody, uncle, had to be a male, to approve me for something is like going to the doctor. So I think in that regard, feminism succeeded, also succeeded in equal pay. But I think where it failed is that women have made a lot of assumptions about how men value themselves as men. Like Dirty said earlier, this woman in this example, apparently, what if I make as much money as you, and all these other things, which are actually things that men concern themselves with. And so she's already assuming she's stepping up to the plate as a man, and she doesn't even know it. And I think that's where feminism has failed, because it is displaced the value of a man even within his relationship, in the relationship. And I'll land
Respectfully.
with that.
Lashonda, you want to add to that?
Wow, that's a lot to unpack.
Yes, it is.
That's a lot to unpack. Yeah, wow. I think you have to be clear who you're getting in a relationship with. So, like, if you're going in a relationship like this guy is, he's a traditional guy. So, if you're dating a traditional guy, you got to know what that entails. You know what that means, what his values are, what he's seeing the world as. Um, I think there's extremes in every area, and I think that's where people get in trouble. Like, you can be extremely traditional and, like, the woman's gotta walk 5 feet behind you, and she didn't have a voice, and she can't think right, and that's that crazy over on that extreme, and I agree with Venus on the other extreme where you have women trying to be in, male-female relationships, and yet she's acting like a male. And then there's no real place for the man to act like a man. So I think that that causes some problems too. I think, yeah, I think, I think there has been a problem with feminine, the whole feminine movement, and I think because mainstream society got a hold of it and kind of warped it and turned it around and made it more commercial. What was selling, what could I could make a profit off of, and sort of people bought into the hype of it. I absolutely am 100% into feminine energy, which is way different than feminine movement. Way, way, way different than that. Um, I believe that if you want to be in a relationship with a traditional person, be in a relationship with a traditional person. Just know what you're signing up for. Like, if he feels like he's the prize and you sit there and you stay on the date with him, that's your business. But you're the one that chose to stay on the date with him. I wouldn't necessarily, but you chose to stay there for that. Um, I am somewhat of a traditionalist in my relation. I like to stay in my feminine energy. I like to stay in my feminine power. I don't think everything is equal. I think that's once again, commercial mess. I don't think there's equal. I I've been in a relationship a long time. We don't do equal. There's sometimes where someone is picking up more slack than the other person. There's sometimes when someone is doing something and the other person doesn't. Like, I don't take out the garbage, considered a traditional role. I won't even touch the garbage. I'll walk by the garbage just because that's what I feel like. Because I don't touch garbage. But and some people that's very traditional. Um, so I think you have to really pick and choose and know your value. So if you want to deal with someone who feels like you're beneath them, you have every right to do that. I'm not saying that's a great idea, but you have every right to do that because that person's not seeing what your worth is. And I think that's what I mean about the equal. We don't have the same worth in the same areas. We each have our different skills and talents, and I think we need to be valued for that. And I think we've gotten so mixed up in these crazy titles like king and queen and not really knowing how to not really knowing how what that is and how to define that. Because a
Yeah, I
real
agree.
good king takes care of his kingdom. And that means nobody's lacking for anything, that they're able to take care of all the pieces of that. And if not, he's got knights and all this other things to take care of everything in the kingdom so nobody suffers. So I really think that if you're going to be a king, then you better step up and you got to be right and tight. Because if you want to be treated that way, you have to be right and tight. Because maybe you haven't reached the level of king yet. Maybe you're a king in training. I don't know. But I believe, if you're gonna call yourself something, I'm expecting to see it in your actions. Because if you want people to follow you and be a beloved king, then there's certain things that you have to do. There's certain things that you have to handle. It's not about being a king and require and having your subjects fear you. You want to be loved and respected. So how are you showing up so that you can be a king that's loved and respected? Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to delegate? Do you know how to be masterful? Do you know how to make all your subjects feel appreciated and valued? Because it's not that we all have the same gifts and talents, because we don't. But do you know how to really rule a thriving kingdom?
Can I ask a question? I apologize.
Yeah.
You thought you believe kings made all his subjects feel valued? That's what a king did.
No, I'm
I'm
not saying.
actually
Yeah, I'm not saying all kings did, but I'm saying
that's
when you're
what
talking
kings
about
do.
relationships,
No,
I'm
I
saying
know. But I'm
quality
just saying.
one
My bad. I just want to know if that
tries.
I'm a bad.
Yeah, a good quality one tries to do that. I'm not saying that that's what kings in general in our history did, but I'm saying that's what you try to do. You want to make sure that your kids feel valued. I'm not saying that they have a voice and they get to, there's levels, right? Because but because like I said, I'm pretty traditional, so there's levels to that. But I think people want to feel that they have value. Because think about it on your job. Do you really love your job and go all out if you don't feel valued? No, people just don't. They don't act their best when they don't feel valued. They really don't.
But
So if you're a good
is that
king,
the job? Is that the? I just was just asking. That's my not the. I was just asking about. Do you think kings do that? And I guess they could, but but you agree that not always would a king be making the whole kingdom. The king's not going by everybody's door, knocking on the door. You feel valued today? Well, this is your king. I just want to tell you.
no, no. But what he would do is have a system set up. He wouldn't go door to door, but he would have a system set up.
Yo, you feel valued in this kingdom.
Exactly a question I want to ask around the plane.
Oh
Yeah, before
man.
I go to Sig and Gem, I want to ask everybody on the panel: are men and women equal? We're gonna start with Lashana. You last one speaking. We start with you.
Are they equal?
Yes or
Uh,
no? Everybody can give their explanation after. I just need a yes or a no.
I'm gonna start with no.
Respectfully, Reese,
No.
Sonny,
In which way?
are men and women equal? Yes or no?
You mean
Man,
emotionally? You mean
You can give your
financially?
explanation after. I just need yes or no.
no.
Yes and no. I land.
Respectfully, V. Yes first or no first?
Are you talking
Sonny.
to me? Oh, Sunny.
It's an N and R, so I would say yes, no. Like that together, like a sneeze.
I got you.
I
Uh,
land.
V. Yeah, V.
I want to say no and yes.
Oh my God.
This is
Gentlemen,
crazy. This is crazy.
gentlemen,
This is crazy.
gentlemen. Gem, are men and women equal?
No, 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 no,
Dirt,
no.
No.
dirt,
No.
Sig.
Yo,
Are men and women equal?
yes.
All right,
Chef,
now
you know
we
somebody
go.
work for this show here. You gonna do the right thing. Sorry, you guys.
Here
And
we
we
go.
know
We're
him.
gonna
We
start
know
with
he gonna give the right answer.
we're
I
gonna
think
start
about
with
life
you, Sonny.
differently.
You got to give him a context of the story so he can answer
We're
the
not
question.
talking
I'll
about
I'll
George
ask the
today.
question. Just give him a reference,
I
context. I
know.
mean,
Um, the reference of the video.
yeah. So he know what he's about to answer. Cause I'm gonna just ask him the
Okay.
question. He ain't gonna know what context.
Sorry, I was eating.
I'm
So yeah.
gonna answer it my way.
No, I don't care. I mean, because this is the point of the conversation. If you see the answers that I have, I'm actually asking men to speak out and talk as use your words, right? Because the words you're using are making females feel less than, and they don't need to. If this is what you want, there's millions of women that want. I don't never want to make more than a man. Oh my God. I swear to God. I swear on my life to live. I don't never want to make more than a nigga. Never. Nigga, I wish I didn't have to do it. Goddamn, I'll be at home, nigga. You see me? Sunny moon. Okay. So anyway, it's a story. I'm sorry. There's a guy and a male. They're on a dating site. I mean, a dating contest thing they got going on. And a question came up is like, what do you want or how do you feel about your woman when you get into a relationship? And the woman, I mean, the man said he's I'm sorry, you guys.
Traditional.
And for him, that makes the man the prize. That, and then he says, because I bring all these things to the plate, and the woman goes, okay, so if I bring all those things to the plate, does that make us equal? Does that make us both the prize? And he goes, no, it doesn't work like that. So my objective is like, there's other ways that you can say this without sounding like you're DL, because that's the image that's given off if you read the rest of the questions. But go ahead. Sorry.
All right. The question is, excuse me. If woman can't image a man and he feels like women are not up to,
impressed, not image. It's probably impressed.
all right. If woman can't impress a man and he feels like women are not up to par, does this man have trauma or is he not in tune with his sexuality of being a DL man?
What? Hold on. What?
That's what I said. If I was just to ask you, you would be like, "Oh, the fuck up."
Nigga, I'm still saying hold the
You would have
fuck
like,
up.
"Niggas is shooting
But
early."
nigga, hold up. If he's not impressed by a particular woman, or if he's just not impressed by women, period.
He's not impressed by the things they can bring. He's not impressed by that. He sees women as essentially as a person who's
Well,
lower
hold
than him.
on. Listen, I've been having sex a long time. A bitch bring a good enough pussy to the table, I'm impressed. All right, like I don't know what type of time this dude is. Is something you can find impressive in a woman if you like women. I don't understand. That's why the question is like, I don't get it. What do you like when I think of impressed? I mean like stand outish, something to turn me on, pique my interest, something of that nature. That's impressive to me. If you around women if you around women and you don't find nothing they do impressive, yeah, I think you might be a little gay. Like, I don't understand what you. I don't get it. You don't find nothing impressive a woman does. So what are you attracted to in her? In women, period. If you don't find nothing impressive.
What the thing is, they would hope that the impression would lead to a different type of um relationship status, as far as, oh, since I'm so impressed with your pussy, not impressed to get more pussy, but now we can I can decide when the lawn gets cut. They hoping that it leads to something like that impression leads to that. That's what she's saying. She wants to decide stuff because I got good pussy. Or she's assuming that he's not impressed enough because he's not willing to give her a leadership role or a co-leadership role. That's what they're saying. Not that you could be impressed by somebody's massage. They give great massage. I'm impressed by that. I want more massages from them. That don't mean that you want to be led by them now.
No, I'm not being led by nobody. I'm a leader. I run my household. It is like it's certain things that in certain areas, if you impress me, yeah, I will give you like control over that area, but I still have the last say so in that area because this is my house. I pay all the bills. I go to work. I brought all the cars. Everything in here is mine. So yeah, this is my kingdom, my castle. If you don't like it, you feel me? Go get on. You feel what I'm saying? Um, now, if you're good at something or good at doing something, yes, I will let you because I also know how to fall back and let you handle that. I don't have to be in control over everything, but I do have to oversee everything. If you are doing something and then it becomes a problem as like you're not doing it correctly,
Yo, you
then I
gotta put
will
your seatbelt on. My bad.
say something about it. You feel what I'm saying? But it's nothing that it's nothing a female can do that's so impressive that I say, okay, you can control my household, or you now have say so over this household. Is nothing in that will make me say that or do that. I'm
And
sorry.
then Cindy, do you chase a woman? Like, do you make your woman feel like she's something that you want? Because that's what she was asking. Like, I want to be felt like
Of
I'm a
course,
prize too, and we have defo levels. Of course we would, but Why would you, the only one, be the prize? Why couldn't I be
I
part of
am.
that?
The way I look at it is, I am the catch, and you are the prize. I'm the catch. You're the prize. Like, I am, like, when you get when, like, if you go fishing and you catch a big fish and then you present it to the judges, they give you a prize. I am the catch. You feel me? And I'm always going to wine and dine and spoil my lady because I actually like women. You feel me? But when we talk about my household, this is my shit, for lack of a better term. But yeah, that's how I look at it.
Jim,
Respect. I land.
respectful. Jim, you in the building? I think he walked off right quick. Well, it's the top of the hour. Let's take a quick birthday, bathroom break, water break, do all that, pay some bills right quick. Peace to my flight family. First time flyers, what up, what up? I know everybody. Everybody has a story, a question, conversation they've been avoiding. If you know them, send them over here. This is the place where real talk happens. If you got something to say, someone you need to say it to, or a truth, or you finally needed land, I want you on the show, man. Apply here. Or you already know what to do. Comment ready to land. Somebody will get back to you. Land your plane, where truth takes off and transparency lands. Welcome back. A little quick. How y'all feeling out there? Y'all all right? Oh, Jamie, welcome back, man. I was trying to get your thoughts on that last question, man.
Uh,
You got the story. You know,
what
you want
was
me
it?
to? You got the question?
Yeah, I got the story.
Damn, your bathroom break is quick as heck.
I know, my bad. It was short commercial. I was gonna do the other one. My bad. Yeah, I need another commercial, everybody.
No, I'm good now.
I'm listening.
Go ahead, Jim.
Jim.
What?
The question, Negro.
I said I got the story, but I didn't hear the question. What was the question?
Oh, my bad. If a woman can't image a man and he feels,
Impressed.
yeah, if a woman can't, my bad. If a woman,
Oh,
because I keep saying image. If a woman can't impress a man, he feels like a. If a woman can't impress a man and he feels like a woman are not up to par, does this man have trauma or is he not in tune with his sexuality for being a DL man?
I'm gonna go with big. Got it on. I'm gonna go with that. Got it on. Like, yeah, it's so much been said that I'm gonna repeat it. Okay?
Respectfully.
So I'm gonna just go with. I'm gonna go with. I got it on. No point. Repeating it, but
Anybody got any questions for each other on the
I land. I land.
any thoughts, questions? Next question was when making women less.
Can I say one thing? My bad. I want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
I think what was DL was kind of, and I hate to agree with this nigga. I hate to agree with him too. It was the prize thing that was awkward. The identification as a prize. That's what was real awkward about it. Like, I'm the prize. I'm the prize. It's like, that's not like, nigga, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
That's
I'm not. I'm
a
Yeah,
feminine.
that was different.
on
Yeah,
neighborhood.
that's the
So you
funny
got me
thing of
fucked
saying
up.
I'm the prize. Like, that's not, he's not even identifying as a monarchy or he's identifying as a prize. Yeah, that's to me is a feminine way of
That's the
like
DL
of
part.
achievement.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's the
that's the
funny
DL
part.
part.
That's the funny because
Yeah.
it's like, and I only and I get and I feel like a lot of times men's sexuality is attacked by women based on their perceptions of what a man should be or a man shouldn't be or whatever, yada yada. However, he's not helping it with that, with that
With
conversation
that,
piece of saying he's the prize. He's not
I'm the
helping
with
it
that
prize.
because
quote, with that quote, it
yeah,
sounds
it
crazy.
sounded like he was snapping his fingers when he said that. I'm the prize. He snapped his fingers when he said it or some shit.
Yeah, you
Like,
feel
nah,
me? I'm
I
the
don't know what that like.
prize.
You think about the idea
Real men
of
don't say shit
like
like
even
that.
like right the idea of somebody being a trophy wife, right? We all heard of that before. A trophy is a prize. So it's like the guy who got the trophy wife, what is he doing for her? He's probably doing everything for her. He's probably the financial person. He's he in a sense could be a prize because he's the nigga that makes millions or whatever. He got a trophy wife. However, he's not gonna identify as the trophy husband. He's not identify. It's not the
Hmm.
same. Those are two different
Yeah.
identifications. And I just think that while we frown on traditional views or we think that just because somebody might not see us, just because you don't see a person on the same level as far as decision making, doesn't mean you don't see value in them
Thank you.
or see places where they can make decisions or not make decisions or think they can. It doesn't mean that. It just means that certain decisions, yeah, I want to have the full say in those decisions because I'm the one that's the captain of the ship. I'm the king. I'm the person leading the ship. I'm the captain of the ship. Whatever. I'm the person who's in charge. So it's a final say thing as far as those things is concerned. No one wants to argue about those things because that creates more stress and anger and get everything out of place. But again, almost again, like Sig was saying, that doesn't mean that and I don't want to even make a joke when I say it, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna argue. I want to argue. I want to decide everything we eat for dinner every day. I want to make we eating chili Monday. Like I'm putting the fucking menu out on the thing. So what we got to eat all week. No, it doesn't mean that. And I'm not saying that that's what just women places to cook. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm just giving that as an example that it doesn't. It's gonna be a lot of things in life that I probably won't. I will want. That's that's the confusion. There's gonna be things in life that I probably do want you just to do and take charge over. That I don't. Yeah, as like almost like what Lashana was saying, as part of a kingdom, there's gonna be things that I want you to go and handle and get that build those pyramids. You know what I mean? Get that shit together. I ain't got time for that right now. However, when you constantly want to combat and be combative about the things I don't want to argue about, or I don't want to have a conversation about, or I don't want to back and forth about. That's where the confusion comes from it. Because a lot of times it's almost like with your kids, even though when you is the similarity of you might not want to hear nothing your kids have to say. And I remember one time my cousins was spitting out the window, and my grandma was in the shower, and I was trying to stop them from spitting out the window. And they told my grandma he's bothering us, and my
What
grandma
you
said,
say?
"Leave him." My huh? What'd you say?
I missed.
She
I
said,
missed
"I said I was." My cousins were spitting out the window, and my grandmother. They told my grandmother I was bothering them when I was trying to stop them, and my grandma was like, "Leave them alone." When I went to go explain to her why I was trying, what was going on, she didn't want to hear nothing I had to say as a kid. You know what I mean? She didn't want to hear it. It's because she don't listen to kids. She don't want no talking back. But they would spit out the window till they spit on the lady, and she came up there and told them. And I ended up getting a beating for letting them spit out the window. So it's like, yeah, it's like some you don't. It gets so blanketed when you don't want to argue that sometimes you might find yourself not wanting to argue over other shit that might be worth a conversation because you just don't want to go back and forth. Those things might not even be that serious, but you don't want to give that. You scared that if we start hearing this, if I start listening to kids, I'm gonna have to keep listening to them all day long. I don't got time with that. When I talk, don't say nothing. And it'd be the same thing in a relationship where a man could feel like, all right, I don't want to argue about nothing. We naming the dog Fluffy. That's the dog's fucking name. That's it. Or he might come to you and even ask you what we naming the dog. He's not gonna argue with you. But it feels like nobody gets that people just don't want to argue. They think it's just wanting to always take the power, but that's the root. Like I learned about that in recovery. What's the root of it? I don't want to be combating the person who I'm supposed to think is my partner. I don't want to be arguing with that person. If we were both police officers and you was my partner in a police investigation, I don't want to be arguing with you the whole time about we trying to solve this fucking case. Are there going to be some disagreements and stuff? Maybe, possibly, but if we spend the whole time arguing, the case is never going to get solved. So it's a lot of is people don't like get that part of it. That nobody is not that just somebody wants to be over somebody or not. They just don't want to have to be too equal because they is a fear that if we equal, then who word counts and which way do we go down? If I'm saying we should move and you saying we shouldn't move, what do we do now?
I second that. Where's the balance? Like, in all reality, where's the fucking balance? And y'all fight with it more than we do, because we know our position. Y'all fight to be in our position, and you just can't be. So, and then when y'all compete with each other, we don't. Men don't compete with men. Women compete with women. Y'all have y'all little outside conversation. We have barbershop talk, right? It's more women competing with each other than men doing it themselves. Like we ain't bothered by it. We know the nature of life, man, woman, child. Because if we make the same, you get pregnant, you gotta go sit your ass down. At the end of the day, you gotta go sit your ass down.
No.
And so I now have to steer the ship. What I've been steering. I've been doing that. I got you here with your help because I picked you. I seen something in you, but I don't. We can't be equal. And I don't know where the fuck that shit came from. We just not. You gotta go sit your ass down and bring my baby to this world. So I land with that.
I heard some yeses and slash no to are men and women equal. I think I heard Sunny Moon, she here? No. V. Is she here? V, I heard you say yes slash no. Why?
Well, I feel like emotionally, intellectually, men and women can have, be equal on that plane at times, where we sit down and have discussions. But I think physically, no, we're not equal. And, so it's based on the value. I definitely don't think men and women physically are equal at all. Definitely not. And I've seen what men can do physically. I cannot do that. And I don't even want to try. Like I think I've mentioned on a few episodes before, I did work in a male dominated environment for quite some time. And, even though it was not a part of my life plan, having had that experience, it really helped me to value men from a very different perspective than what I was taught and intellectualized to see men. I saw them in a completely different perspective, and I began to value them from a perspective of, like, why the creator would create men. Like, they can build, they're strong, they can endure things that women can never endure physically. But when it comes to the emotional part, uh, I feel like women are tend to be a little bit stronger in that area. And when it comes to the intellectual part, I feel that we can build. I build a lot. I spend a lot of time building with men, and I really enjoy it. I love sitting down having intellectual conversations with men. I think sometimes women underestimate men's intellectual capacity and the things that they have on their minds. I'm blown away
Quick question, Mother
sometimes.
Earth. Quick question, Mother Earth. Mother Earth. Quick question.
Yes.
You spend more. You spend more time with women or more time with men.
Most of my best friends are men, right? To be honest, I have a lot of
So you
male
got the you
friends.
got the not. So you got the knowledge of a man.
So I have been told that I think like a man, but
Okay,
I it's only because I
I
don't
yield.
say I have learned to take in. They educated me, and is what I'm saying. They taught me, and it wasn't coming from a place of I know men. No, I was grateful because I feel like what I learned from men can help me going forward in my relationships with men. Things that I didn't know before, and but
Can
that's
women
that's
be?
why
Can women be the president? Can women? Can any woman be the president?
I think a woman could be the president. Yeah, we just had a vice president that was, for the first time per se. You know,
That's cool. But don't y'all deal with emotions and
but
can't handle
even
certain
there's a
situations?
but there's a situation. There's a TV show I used to like to watch called The Prophet,
Can you
and the
answer the
funny thing,
question real quick?
I am going to answer your question. And
Huh?
so, the interesting thing about the show is it would show all these different scenarios in which people had struggling businesses. And so this man would come in and he helped to revamp their businesses. I don't know if anyone's ever seen the show. It used to be one of my favorite shows to watch. But a lot of times the men would break down in tears. Almost every episode, they were showing a man crying. And so, and we're the ones who are, always saying that, we're the ones who are emotional. But here it is on national television, they were showing something quite different. They were showing men crying on many different um, scenarios. So
Can you say that's pain
I just think
for
that
men?
there's a level of self control, that goes on both the male part and the female part, and I learn with that.
So is that pain
Every time
or
I see
is
men crying on
that pain
TV,
for
I laugh
men when
with
they
them.
cry? That
What's
doesn't
up?
make any sense to me either.
Not
What?
joking.
Yeah, that shit is
Every time I see
retarded.
a
I
nigga
think
laughing on
it's
TV,
scripted though.
I laugh.
I think it's all scripted. So yeah, that's dumb to put yourself in that situation. So
Have you
the
ever
men you
cried? When
see
was the last time you
that
cried, Jim?
when the last time I cried, shit,
Hmm.
it's been years, 2 years. It's been years. Now watch this.
So
Didn't answer my question.
if a man
Can a
cries,
woman? Can a woman? If a man cries, right? Is that pain or he's like? Even though I have another question for you, that's cool. You don't, right? So if a man cries, is that pain or is he pussy? I didn't mean to say it like that, but punk. If you
I'm
say you've
sorry,
seen a lot of men cry,
in this, I'm using that show as an example of men expressing their
all right. So
emotions in that
is
moment,
that
and I don't think
pain?
it's anything. I never felt that it made them any less weak or anything. It's just a moment. They were having a
Can I ask a
moment.
question? Can I ask a question? You said
So
you hang out with men.
you're saying men? Hold on, dirty, real quick. You're saying that men are more emotional than women?
No, I didn't say that.
She never said that
No, I was asking because you say you've seen a lot of men cry on TV shows,
on the show.
but you've been
On the
around a
show.
real
Yeah,
brothers, right? You've been
That's what I
around
was
real
gonna ask
brothers.
you.
Have they cried?
That's the question. Thank you. That's the question I was gonna ask you. How much have
I
you
have
seen the
seen.
people you actually hung around crying? The actual men you hang around, the ones you
I have
said helped
seen.
you, gave you information. How regularly have you seen them cry?
I've seen them cry. Let me think. I actually have seen a couple brothers cry. Yes.
As
Yeah.
regularly as on the show or
Now
in
was
life?
that
Like my mother died. I cried when my mother died. That like you know what I mean. So
you feel
recently I
me? There's
seen
certain people that passed away that I cried for. Yeah, yeah. And no real shit, dirty. Real
that's
shit.
like
I
because
cried because real
she's
people passed
known me
away.
for like 19 years almost now. And how many times have you seen me cry?
Probably a total of maybe 5 or 6.
and that's pain, right? That's
You're
all that
like
is. When men cry in certain situations, that's pain.
I would agree with the majority of the times that I've seen him cry, it was over some type of serious situations.
It was pain. It was pain. Y'all cry emotionally.
I don't think anybody's debating that
So
women cry emotionally. I cry when I'm pissed off. I cry more when I'm pissed off than when I'm emotional.
Have you ever seen me pissed off?
Yes.
Was I crying?
No. You're just a different breed, so I don't think anybody takes any of that.
That show. Them niggas crying
I'm
on the
not
show.
agreeing with the show, but I do agree that women cry more based off of emotions. I will agree with that. And I do think that there is some men that are a little bit more touched with a little bit of extra emotions. Like, let's be for real. There's how many billion people in this world? I'm sure that there's a emotional man. Not, I don't think the number is very high, but I'm not going to disagree that men can be emotional.
They
Respectfully.
probably vet the show when they bringing people on. They ask them how emotional
now
you
we're
are.
in tune. We're in tune. We're in tune. Real life. We're in tune with your feelings because we come from a woman, right? We're brought out. We're brought from so they're attached to us. So we deal with emotions too, but it's different. We just
And
get angry over
I
emotions.
don't think she was
Get
disagreeing with
angry.
that.
You notice I'm not saying anything.
Not, no, I didn't think you said that. I didn't think. I just was. I just thought it's funny because like I watch shows and I be seeing niggas crying on the show too, and I just find it hilarious. And
And
then,
he does laugh every single time.
it's like, but I
Every
just
I
like
time.
turn the
my biggest
TV. I don't want
question.
to hear no. You know,
Jim and
right?
Jim and I asked the question I wanted to ask: was the guys you around you crying as much as those people on the show? You know, you get what I'm saying? That was the only question I wanted to ask. Because when you say that we're like there's a
Yeah.
equalness and equal in emotion, I would say a person who's able to control their emotions better would probably have the advantage in that area. The person
I
who's able
wasn't
to
speaking
control.
from that. I wasn't
I
speaking
know. I'm
from
just
that
no. That's what I'm saying.
space.
No, I
Yeah.
get you. No, 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 no. Respectfully, I just that's just you get what I mean. No fake.
Yeah.
If you know that every time somebody sees something spilled on the floor, they're crying. That person doesn't have a control over their emotion. I'm not
I was
disagreeing.
speaking
Somebody,
from a place of like love. When I was speaking about emotional, I'm speaking from a place of love and respect. That's
yeah,
that's the place I would speak, not from a
not
place of, you know, I would think like a man needs love, a woman needs love. A man needs respect, a woman needs respect. So that's the place I was speaking from.
no, I get that, but I mean,
Now I respect
uh,
it.
crying is
And
an
that
emotion.
aspect, yeah, and
Is
that
an
aspect,
emotion. So
definitely.
it would have to when we thinking about the tiers of whether or not we would be equal emotionally, we would have to take all emotions into
Into
um
consideration.
into consideration. Yes, bless and thank you. So yeah, and I get what you're saying though. Yeah, we all want love, we all want respect. That those are
Yeah,
emotions
Mother
too.
Earth, I ain't
You
disagreeing with you. I just had a couple of
know?
questions.
Yeah, but I just want to know. Yeah, but I get that. Thank you.
Sonny Moon,
It was still on the
you had
playing field of
answered
being equal. That's all.
you had answered yes, no too. Why you think men and women are not equal? Or yes or no?
Yes or no? When I say equal, that was more emotional. When I say equal, ooh, should I come in and out? Is it okay?
We hear you.
You good.
Okay.
I
No,
might
I
just left
said
out though. You good though.
emotional. That doesn't have to do anything with financial growth or anything like that. You always can learn, right? But what I'm saying is emotionally, I think there's a place in the relationship where you guys can get yoked. There's always worry about myself and then worry about them. As the same person worry about themselves and worry about them, I think that it could be a balance of emotion that matters there. That's when I speak when I say equal. Like there should be a key. Like if I'm chasing you, if I'm worrying about what you got going on, if I'm enjoying your company this type of way because you like it, or whatever it may be to keep you at a comfortable rate that I don't mind. right? Then why wouldn't you do the same? That's why there's a yes and no. Like, of course, like you will want the person to want to give you some type of care back as well as you do for them, whatever form, whatever that looks like for you, etc. That's why there was a yes and a no, because no, there's no equal lies when it comes to other factors. Of course, you're a man. There's never going to be an equal factor to certain things in our lives. That's just how it is. That's how it's made, right? So if you want to equal, then you can. You could just date another man, and that's how equal it could be. Just like for women, if you want to be equal with your man, you could always date a woman because you guys could be equal. That's the difference in our land.
Lashonda, you want to give your explanation why? I think you said no, right?
Yeah, I said no. Um, wow. Okay. I said no because I feel like men and women are different. I think we have different gifts that we possess, and I think Venus had said it. Um, strength wise, we're not the same. We don't have the same hormonal balance. You guys have more testosterone, which makes you stronger. We have more estrogen. So I think in general, I think there's a difference in that piece of it. I think the human desire, like everyone was saying, Sunny too, that we want the same kind of emotions and everyone wants the same respect. Um, I don't think you play the same roles per se in the relationship. Um, in that sense. I think I'm just stuck. I was listening to you guys talk about these emotion stuff, and it kind of made me sad because, um, like, I believe the creator gave us all a range of emotions, right? And I don't think the creator gave women this emotion and men this emotion. I think the creator gave us all a range of emotions. I think, um, I think most men, especially black men, don't cry. And they cry when something really deeply hurts them, and they're taught to hold it all together. And I think sometimes that's to their detriment because I don't think they're as in touch as they think they are. Um, and I think sometimes that's hurt you. And I'm not saying you should be crying all over the place like on the TV show. I think that's an extreme and that's crazy. So I'm not talking
Yeah,
about
that's
that
too
either because I
much.
don't think anybody should be crying all the time, whether you're a man, woman, whatever. I think that's crazy. I think something's wrong with you. Um, but I do think that there's something there that's held us back and that's hurt us. Like we've been too rigid, we've been too uniform, we've been too in a box. Like real men don't do this, real women don't do this. We've kind of put ourselves in these boxes that I don't think serve us very well as human beings. Um, so it just kind of made me sad. Like, I'm not saying that you guys should be crying all the time or whatever the case is, but I felt like there was such this expectation and this weight on you that you can't be
Vulnerable.
free. Yeah, and
Yeah.
vulnerable. Like you can't be that. Like you have to be this certain way, and that's really heavy. That to me felt very heavy because here's the thing. I believe emotions are a gift. I don't think everyone knows how to use them, whether you're male or female, but our emotions are a gift, and the range of emotions are beautiful because they help guide you in a life that doesn't have to be so hard. It
Hmm.
doesn't have to be so much about the struggle. Real talk. And so most people don't know how to use their emotions to avoid the struggle a lot because we've been so conditioned in this country because of the circumstances of us being here that we don't know how to use it. We don't know how to honor that gift and that GPS system that we've been given. So I think we've been conditioned, one, to save our lives, real talk. As Black people, we couldn't be all emotional because of the fact that it was a survival technique. And I think we've taken that survival technique and made it extreme. And we're still living in survival thinking like we're not, but you are in survival, which means you're not in thriving
Mhm.
mode. You're still your nervous system and everything is still in this survival mode. It's not in a thriving mode. You don't understand. I think we miss the power. There's power in crying. There's power in releasing. There's power in the whole range of emotion. And if you're not able to live in that full of range of emotion, you're missing out on some things. And you don't have the freedom you think that you have because the creator doesn't make mistakes. And we were all given the free reign of emotion. So it was just interesting for me listening to you guys because I understand it. Don't get it twisted, you know. I've never seen my biological father cry, and probably I will never see him because he's passed away. But there's lots of men I've never seen cry for sure, and there are some men that I have seen cry, but I can count on my hand in their whole entire lifetime. But I also know where they are in their life, and they're not in thriving mode either. They're in hustle, they're in fight, they're in struggle, but they ain't in thriving. And I think there's some connection there. I'm not saying that's the whole reason and all that. There's so many things in this country why things are the way they are. But I just wonder if there's something in that. And so I believe that that's the power a woman who really understands her feminine power can add to the relationship, can add to the environment that unfortunately I think our men, some of our men today aren't even tapped into that because you've been so tight and rigid that you don't even understand the power of those emotions and what they can do and what they can create and what they can shield you from because they are a guidance system and they are a GPS system when they're done right. And I'm not saying every woman has this, so don't. I'm not saying that either, and has an understanding of that. But so my answer is yes. We are definitely different, and no, we are not equal because I don't believe men today possess that gift and talent. Um, I think they possess other gifts and talents, but they don't have that one. I land.
Reese, you said no, right?
Yes, I said no.
What's your expo?
I'm gonna start off with I don't want a soft marshmallow. I don't want a man that's gonna sit there and bawl his eyes out. That is not my forte. Um, I don't think that it's weak by any means, but it's just not. I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with you expressing your emotions and having feelings, but if you're just a big old crybaby and I'm a big old crybaby, that's just not it's not gonna work. Because I'm somebody who is very emotional. I cries all the time when I'm mad. 90% of my crying is when I'm mad. Um, but I don't think men and women are equal at all. I do think maybe being raised in a traditional, like my grandmother and grandfather were married straight out of high school. They were together till they died. Um, so I was raised by my grandmother. So I've always seen a traditional marriage. Like my grandmother was a housewife. She did what my grandfather told her to do. Um, so I am more of that. So I don't think men and women are equal at all. I don't think men and women are equal emotionally at all. I do think women are way more emotional than men are. Um, and I think that men possess the strengths that they're supposed to possess, and women possess the strengths they're supposed to possess. Um, and I think that when you try and make it fully equal, that's where you have imbalances going on. Um, you have the women that act tough, is what I will say, that once you come out of your feminine energy and go into acting tough as a man, you're most likely no longer attractive in that man's eyes because now he's looking at, per se, a manly person. So I don't think that women and men are equal at all. At all. I don't see it. Um, I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman and a man making the same amount of money. I believe that if you possess that talent and you possess that knowledge to make the same amount that a man would make, then that's because you did the work to do that. Um, so I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. And I don't know. I just don't see it. And I'm just gonna land with that.
Respectfully. Jim. You said no. Why?
Answer.
You
I
said you
answered that
answered.
already. Yeah.
Did there?
Um, I think that life is like that. They're imbalances. And I think that a lot of times the things that people seek as an idea of balance is just, you know, mythical because, I forgot the lady's name. I think she played Moesha's mother. I think she played Moesha's mother. She was doing an interview and she talked about how she might, her and her husband have separate lives and all of that. And then you think about somebody like Monique, the comedian lady Monique, who makes a lot more money than her husband, makes a lot more. But she says that's the king of her household, and he's the one that's the leader. And it might have fucked over because she ain't been able to get in movies for a minute because he was telling her what she could do, whatever. But I think that the idea of being equal or not being equal can be so confusing and so misleading and create this energy of lack of value when there's value in things that are unequal. You know what I mean? Or people don't see as equal. There's value in that. There's still some you could be you might not be equal in this, or you know I might not have. I can say, like I said to Reese, she known me for so long. I said, you how many times you seen me crying 18 years? But I could say to her, how many times have you seen me laugh? Laughter, laugh. That's what always bugs me out. When people say you're not emotional. Laughter is an emotion. It's a release. It's all of those things you get from crying. You get them from laughter, but in a good way. You can get some energy from crying and releasing some stuff, but most of the things we'll cry over. I cried over like I said, my mother passing away. It didn't bring her back to life. I don't regret the crying, but I think that's what it comes to when people don't cry. It does, because even like not to say you wrong. Thank you for your opinion, Lashana. But you talk about like the survival mode thing. But like survival mode, when you think of that, I wouldn't laugh. People don't laugh in survival mode most of the time because I gotta be focused on surviving. I don't have time to laugh. Ain't shit funny. You know what I mean? So I think it's just a choice of what emotions I feel like giving energy towards and I want to display towards to other people. And I think there's some power in that of knowing, hey, I don't want to express myself in a way that I might view as negative. I'm not saying anybody crying is negative, but I don't feel a positivity in that. I'm not a person who something happens and I cry because I'm happy. I've never had that happen. I know there's people who have that happen. I laugh when I'm happy. You know what I mean? And I would say what works for you, whatever. If it panhandles, it panhandles. I ain't going, you know what I mean? If it makes sense, it makes sense. I'm not going to say a person's wrong or right. However, I think that when you're too busy crying, you're not focused on solving whatever issue you're crying over. And I can't see how crying can solve the issue. I think you're focused on the pain you feel from it, and you're not even focused on removing the pain. And I think you can get trapped into that mindset and stuck in it. And I think that's the thing. Do I think a woman could be the president? Yeah, is a figurehead. people people give it people give that title too much power. It's still a voting system. They still have to vote and they have other people and other things in place. It's really not that serious. It's not, will she get a period and nuke the world? I don't think so. I don't think she's gonna get a period and nuke the
Dirt,
world.
dirt.
That's
What
the
I'm
joke
telling
that
you,
people
Gus.
say. No, that's I don't think
I'm,
I don't believe that. I think that's just the way it's just the way things are presented, and it's just this misbelief. But again, like I told you, I used to believe that all men are leaders and that they all should be leaders. I don't feel like that anymore. I own a couple recovery house, a couple well, the couple recovery houses and also couple recovery houses where people were there in couples. And I seen a lot of those relationships where the woman was the leader and they were the ones who were leading. And I could think throughout life, I've seen relationships where the woman could be the leader. I think the idea is find the problem is we don't connect with the people that emit that mirror what we want. If you want to be the leader, find a person who will let you lead. Don't fight with the leader. I love you, but you're too much of a leader. I want to lead, or I want to be equal. Find a person who will equally do the equal thing with you. But if somebody's not that, you can respect what they are and hopefully accept that. I think that's the biggest problem we have in relationships. It's because change is something we all agree upon that people can change. It becomes a belief that, oh yeah, this person's a leader, but I can make them learn that we're going to go 50-50. I know I can do it if I just give him some pussy. Well, if he values me enough, he'll change his mindset of things being equal once he really values me. I don't think it's a lack of value or not value. I think it's just accepting a person's mindset that they express to you and realizing, all right, this is what this person believes in, and I can either rock with that or I can't rock with that. This is what they believe. You know what? This is what you believe. All right, you know what? That's cool. All right, you believe that? I don't rock with that. That's not what I'm into. And that's the biggest thing. We always say we get mad when people lie to us, but I feel like we get just as mad when they tell us the truth. We just a mad group of people. We're just mad. You say you get mad about a lie, but if they telling you that, hey, I'm traditional, this is the way I want things to go. This is the thing. I think men have. I think really, honestly, and this is no offense to you, Nooch, I think the whole value question is a joke because anybody can have value or not have value. It's based on who you are. Like you remember, I was making fun of my crochet hat. If somebody can crochet, they might have value to me. They can crochet, that's a value. But to a person who don't wear crochet hats, that shit don't got no value. You can crochet, cool.
Yeah.
You can crochet. You can crochet. Oh, that's great for you. I don't even wear crochet shit. You know what I mean? Like, so value is very subjective and based on the person who you're presenting yourself to see or not see your value. I can cook. So to me, a woman who can cook or not cook, is there value in that? It's cool. You can cook, but I can cook too. I'm not going to starve if you don't cook. I think that's like we don't know where to write down. And even then, like I think I said this to you before. I don't know. I know I was talking to DeVille. We was talking about how a lot of women, if you ask them what makes you valuable to a man, a lot of them will say I'm a good mother. What the fuck that got to do with me? You being a good, I don't care about, I don't need a mother. How is that valuable to me that you're a good mother? Like, what does that mean? But then that's where the confusion to be of lack of value or more value. So I'm happy you're a good mother, but that's not really helpful to our relationship as me as a person. I don't need a mother. Are you gonna breastfeed me? What the fuck did you being a good mother got to do with what we about to be together? Like it's just a joke. So it's like I think that's the thing. Making it real individual, meeting a person, finding out. Hopefully, if they can be honest with you, what their values is. Finding out can you fit in those values? Can you work to learn on those values? Can you do that? And then let them know what your values is, and can they fit those things? And then hopefully you can find a person who y'all can be equally balanced in that way, but maybe not in the way that if that's what but maybe not in the way that you're thinking of that, but maybe even in that way too. If you talk to the right person, somebody you might meet might say, you know what, I like, I love that. I hear a lot of guys say that shit. I be looking at them like they dumb, but that's their life. They want that. So you just got to find the person who wants what you have to offer by through conversations. And then hopefully the people you're talking to, like I said, won't just say I want a person who that I have balance with as far as decision making, and then like almost like Lashana said in the beginning, use you as a placeholder till they find somebody that they don't have to have balance with in decision making. That they can find somebody who will just listen to them. But hey, that's all That's the thing, and I'll land with that.
Respectfully. Um, I think you can see the difference. To veggie back off of what Shonda was saying, I think you could. Why you hurt is you can see the difference between who's healing and who's hurting. And when a lot of what we've been hearing, what we see online, is from people who tried relationship and got the bad end of it. It didn't work out because we know negativity spread faster. There's very few. I mean, we have them up there, but they're not unless we do the research, unless we bring it out. We know about it because this is the type of, you feel me, thing that's on our algorithm. However, there's not a lot of happy stories out there. You feel me? To reason why you can what I was saying is this why you can see the difference of when who's healing and who's hurting. People who's healing is still going through it, and people who's hurting is going through it. So are man and woman equal? No, we're not equal because we each have our perspective, purpose on earth. And it's like Dirk said, it's okay. That's an okay. It's not no thing of a battle for I need to be as good as the man, or I need the woman beneath me, or I need the woman here. It's okay that man and woman is not equal. That's what we was put on earth. Wasn't put on earth to be equal. But what is to be understood and overstood and understood is that family, lineage, legacy, and laws for the next generation. And however we come to an agreement, partnership, however we come to that. That's what's been left behind for us. So all of this, you feel me? This, like you said, is not. And it was just a question. I didn't take it as no shot. There is no value in trying to be equal to each other. That's where the problems is coming from. Let's see how we can add. Because I think we stifle ourselves when we trying to combat and compare, contrast, and do all of that shit. I'll land with that. Next question was, why are men not looking for friendship and women they want to date? We start with Reese.
Why are men not looking for friendships in the women they date?
Yeah.
I think that that's where it kind of gets a little hairy because if you're not friends with the person that you're in a relationship with or that you're dating, I feel like it's not going to really work out because if you're friends with somebody, you're learning that person, you're learning all of their wants, their needs, you're learning what they like, they dislike. And a lot of times, if you're skipping over that part of it because you go right to the sex part of it, um, you're missing some of the red flags that you might not want. And I think that sometimes men go into a relationship, or they might just start talking to you for the sex, as we were talking about earlier, and they're not building that relationship because now you just became a sexual partner, and now you guys are just kind of doing your thing together. So there was no foundation to that. So I think that if you're with somebody long enough, you'll develop some type of friend. And I don't know, because like friendship is weird to me because it's like relationship, friendship, they're ships. If I'm already in a relationship with you, I have to have some type of friendship with you at some point. But I don't feel like, again, I kind of think that the whole thing of the men and women roles play a part into it is that women are more emotional people. So we look for certain things and we want to build that bond where men kind of let that bond build naturally, I would say. So I don't really know if I would say that men don't look for a friendship because hopefully they do want to have some type of friendship with their partner, I would just think that it's built differently than a woman is building it. And I'm gonna land with that.
Respectfully. Uh, V. Excuse me. Why are women? Why? Yeah. Why are men not looking for friendships and women they want to date?
I would think that it depends on the man and and the reason why he's dating someone. I recently, I think Boris Kojo was on a podcast, and he basically, was talking about his relationship, but he was saying how much he loved his wife, but not only did he love her, he likes her. And then he broke down, what sound like a friendship. Like he wants to be with her. They laugh at each other's jokes. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah, you
okay.
good. You good.
Yeah, you good.
Um, thank you. And so, and I think that if there isn't a friendship, then how long will the experience as a relationship really last? Because on those days where you're not really relating to each other per se, what happens then? But when there's a friendship, it's more of, okay, how can we arrive at some place that, can be mutually respectful? So if he's not looking for a friendship, then I would think that he just not really, maybe not even really just looking for something as what is it early in the show? What did y'all call it? A placeholder? He may only be seeking a placeholder. Um, and I think friendship is important in a relationship. That's just me. I think it helps to have longevity and as you go, because friendship is someone you trust, someone you want to do things with, someone you actually like. So if you're not seeking it, then maybe he's just not really seeking anything long term. It's just something as a placeholder, and I land with that.
Respectfully, Sunny Moon. Why are men not looking for friendships and women they want to date?
The emotion think of is that they don't want to balance like third said they don't want to argue, they don't want to have that intimacy of always arguing or trying to figure out something when they just want to move forward and be direct, right? So that's how I can see that. Um, and not a French, I can't say not a friendship, but because you know how you can caddy with your friends, you could probably, if these men on this panel think that females we caddy with our friends, right? They don't want to be a part of that. So they call that your friendship, right? You have a friendship already, right? You have your caddy girls, you have your girls you go through your emotions with, you have people that will understand you more deeply, maybe help you through your situation like I couldn't, because I don't allow my emotion to be in that circle or that fit. That's what I think. Why they wouldn't want that friendship dynamic or want to date through friendship because they're not looking for that caddy out of a woman. I know I heard a man say before, I just want a wife. Like I don't need a. I watch so many videos. They don't want to. I don't want a friend. I got friends, right? I got a different type of friends. He's like, but I want a wife. And so sit there and think, what does that really mean? He just wants a woman. Well, how can I show that? How can I be that without being too reliant or so justified for your feelings or your emotions or how you're looking at me or how I feel in that moment? How can I just be this woman?
What?
I like.
Respectfully. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm. I'm not low or I sound far. Sound good?
Sound good to me.
Respectfully. Everybody landed in here? Why are men not looking for friendships in a women they want to date? I think like you said, I think we touched on it earlier. Placeholders, man. We're looking for right now. You feel me? Or some men is looking for right now. I can't say that that's what I'm looking for. However,
I realized I didn't get to answer that question. I don't not to interrupt you, but
oh, respectfully, yeah, my bad. Go ahead, jump out.
I would say because a friendship is not very judgmental. You know, when you think of somebody who's your friend, they probably don't judge you as much based on your decisions you make. They might joke about it. It might be fun, but a friend is somebody you can not have to worry about that. You don't have to be worried about, oh, you forgot to flush the toilet, you know, or you lied or whatever. A friend, the relationship between a friend and a person is more accepting. Like I could call my friend and tell them anything, and I won't feel like we're about to be in an argument over what I'm telling them. I won't feel like they about to see me as the worst person or discredit me or say I'm less of a man because I told them that. That to me is like the difference between a relationship you might be looking for with a girl or want with a girl, because you already kind of know that this person, you will have a level of friendship, but they're not going to be my best friend, because just like you have other friends you can't tell everything to. You can't say anything to. So I think that's the thing that people are, when they thinking of friendships or connections as far as friendships go, the idea of that, what that means. And I think when you're in a relationship with somebody, no, you start to learn that person, you get to know that person more, even before you get in that relationship. When you, like you said, when you're first dating and you're going, I want this person to be my friend. If you're just dating somebody, you're probably, I mean, girls do this all the time, but I can't really see a dude telling a girl that they just starting to date, yo, my phone about to go off. They might tell you they're going to be working. Like, yeah, I'll be working for the next 2 days. I got to pull a double. So I ain't going to be able to answer the phone. They ain't going to be able to really just come out and say, that's something you would say to your friend. Yeah, my phone about to get cut off. And maybe they'll send you the money or whatever. So I think that, yeah, it's just the idea of just knowing that this person I'm with has expectations of me that means what a relationship means it doesn't mean, is those expectations. And I just think that kills a friendship, or the idea of what that can mean or not. And then also, when you're constantly conflicting with that person, or when you're having beef with that person and you're having little arguments, there's moments like that can kill your friendship, that kill the idea of what friendship is or not. Because me and my friends might get into an argument, but again, the way I argue with my friends is completely different from how I've argued with my girl. I've never had it's not a friendly argument. We argue in the group chat. We argue on the show after the show. The other night, you seen people arguing about doing a new show. They argue till 1 o'clock in the morning, but it's not the same. Me and my cousin argue, but it's not the same. Most of our arguments don't have the same intensity or the results that a passionate or a heavy argument can have with your girl. Because even if we do argue, we're going to still be friends. How many people can say that about a relationship most of the time? If after this argument and we might break up and never see each other again. Now you got me blocked, I got you blocked, everybody, but whatever. We all doing these extra shit because we weren't friends. If you was really friends with somebody, when y'all broke up, you would still be cool. And I do have some people like that in my life. I have a friend, we ain't been maybe 21 years we ain't been together, and we talk periodically. You know what I mean? She's a friend of mine. She even watched me and Reese's son for us when we went to.
You with us? Broke up.
Is he frozen?
Yeah, you froze.
Go to a rap battle. We was actually friends, but the way
You was froze for a little minute.
My bad. But yeah, that's My bad. Yeah, but that's friendship. You know what I mean? That's the difference between, and I think that's rare to find. You're not gonna find a lot of people who you can be friends with, but you can find a lot of people you can be in a relationship with. You can find a lot of people you can fuck, but you might not find a lot of people you can truly say, "Oh, that's my friend." No matter what, they're gonna love me and accept me. They're gonna give me that unconditional love, and I'll end with that.
Respectfully. Yeah. If a man in the first would try to, I would say if a man's doing this in the first, trying to get with a woman, I don't think, his first thing would be his go-to would be friendship. It would be who she is, you feel me, what she's done, what she's about, and if she's compatible for my lifestyle, if she would fit, for my program, if, catering, courting a woman. Now that's just a man. I'm not speaking for all men, and however, that's not what's going on today. If a man is not, if he's not not even a modern man, if just, you feel me, a dude, not really got too much, hasn't got too much going on, really, and really is not, you feel me, can't even say taking life serious. I could just say he's not, if he's not looking for friendship, then obviously, then it won't be looking for no wifey either. So he's looking for them guts eventually. And if y'all agree on that, that's what they agree. There's a lot of people who agree on that and, live life happy, do what they do. Why? But that's why a man wouldn't be, because based off of these prior relationships that you feel me, thought you was compatible with, or just based on it, just you're not compatible, it won't work. Just to veggie back, add on what they were saying. Any thoughts, questions for each other? Top of the hour, bathroom break, water break, and all that. Any questions, thoughts for each
I'm
other?
going to say good night when we on this layover.
You're right, then. I appreciate you flying out.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Venus.
Good night. Good night.
Appreciate all of you. Love to y'all.
Good night. Grab your parachute and jump out. Y'all know what to do. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Shout out to everybody in the comments. My fight family. Got WW right in here. Aim to please. Who else was in here? Harlem Bombshell. Shout out to y'all. Y'all know what to do, man.
This is BK.
Mike Payne.
Carly.
34 and a half. Hot boy Shay. Tyrell. And I play Tyrell.
And Monica.
Jay.
Asu.
Mo.
Big Prince in that series Make Some Noise.
You gon' hear me now, feel me now. I'm 10 toes, no small talk, straight to the pen.
Throughout the season, you see him going through where in the beginning he wanted to just do his music and work a regular 9 to 5, but as things continue to happen to him, he has to respond to the environments that he gets put in.
Damn. Nah, fucked up, cuz. Yo, my bad, bro. Where the fuck was you at anyway? I was trying to get a little bottle or something, type of weapon that even the odds it was more than us.
A lot of people called me and was like, when they see me, I like to say I retreated, which is something people do in war all the time. They retreat to, regroup. The word I like to use when I think about that scene. People thought I was like, punani.
Nigga, you must not know who the fuck.
Shorty on a whole different time than I am. She want me to be her man, but she don't understand this. Get fucked up my brain. Shorty on a whole different time than I am. She want me to be her man, but she don't understand this. Get fucked up my brain. Shorty on a whole different wavelength. I don't even wanna say shit, but I gotta keep it real. I ain't never been the one for no fake shit. Since I'm a star, making that gon' take sensation. She don't understand, I need space if I'm tryna pull up in a spaceship. See, when you worldwide, you don't always have time to be by girl's side. And seeing other girls like my stuff that could mess with girl.
I seen everybody got back quick this time. Everybody patronize my patrons. Please go check out I'm So Tyrell's page at YouTube. Check out the web series called Make Some Noise. Definitely tap in. My guy Dirt. Check him out. All streaming apps, wherever music can be heard. Definitely go tap in. Different time. Ladies and gentlemen, we have, let's see, we got a couple more questions. Let me get a good one out of here. I'll do two more. Hopefully I'll pick one of y'all. Here, I know this one is Sunny Moon. How can men be able to express themselves without sounding DL? I guess if that was that attached to the story.
It sounded kind of fruity, right? Like I said, it felt like he didn't want no woman. You know, he wanted the image of a woman, but he didn't want no woman. He was transsexual. So I feel like a lot of men, because I'm reading different things, I'm watching men punch out women and how they're like, oh, how can a woman make a man do that? Da, 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 da. Like women should, you know, in the caption of all this stupid stuff. I want to be able to hear like a statement where it could be expressed instead of you feeling like you don't want the woman because you do want.
Audio clicking a little bit. Son. Clicking.
You know, most of those questions are more focused for the man, but emotional for the women to speak as well, right? Definitely needed that. But okay, so what was the question again? I'm sorry, one more time.
How can men be able to express themselves without sounding DL?
Yeah, and that's I couldn't tell you because I'm not a man. That's why I think Christian word like I could, like, and that's what we want to hear. Even you know, I'm mad that Jim is not here. These are the questions that we really need to hear because I'm not a man. I had a father, I have an uncle, I have all, and I only can understand when they are speaking. I don't have an understanding. I'm a woman. I know how a woman should, you know, how a woman feel or how I may feel, you know, but I have no idea, and that's why I asked that question because I don't know what the you would have to say to feel that way. You know, definitely one thing make it seem like you want the woman. That's all I can express in that moment. Like if you are trying to define what you want, looking for, etc., don't forget woman is what you're talking to and what you're saying you desire. That's all I can say. And I'm like,
you need some headphones because your shit's clicking a little bit. I get what you're saying. The question is probably directed towards men. We not DL, so I don't really know. I could, you feel me? I can. Well, Dirt, we're gonna go to you. How can men be able to express themselves without sounding DL?
Don't be saying words that are like feminine words. Period. Like when women, like the thing is, I would say for me is men. Like that I'm using that example. Period. You're not gonna hear me saying that shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I just got this new job. Period. That shit is awkward. when women like create slangs, it's for women, and you probably shouldn't be expressing yourself using those slangs. Keep those slangs out your terminology. Like the nigga that called himself a prize and all of that. It's awkward. It's like that's not very that's being a follower. And I think that's what it comes down to. You know what I'm saying? Like other than that, I don't think a nigga a bitch for crying. I think it's funny. Like if I watch it on a TV show, only because I feel like they being dramatic on the TV show. I know that they just doing it for like they doing it for the drama of the show. It's like, oh, you gonna cry? Like really, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just funny. And then some of the shows, it'd be like the show they on. You on a cooking show. Yeah, you cooking, crying. What are you crying, cooking? You gonna put tears in the chicken and dumplings. Come on, just leave it alone. So it's like, but I think that realistically, if you like, you know, I was a big Nip Hustle fan. You know what I'm saying? No movie. And when Nip died, I remember that's one of the times that I was sore crying. And I wasn't crying, I was tearing. I wasn't, ooh, but tears just came out my eyes. I had just quit my job listening to this nigga album like 2 months before he died. You know what I mean? I was so like invested. So like it motivated me to really dive into my comedy. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like the words from his music had motivated me so much. So when he was murdered, when he died, I was trying. I probably wanted to cry, kind of like what LaShonda was saying. I needed that release. I wanted to feel it, even though you know what I mean. I wasn't his best friend or nothing, but still, I was sad. And I remember we was in the car. I was driving, and I had his album on, listening to it, and yeah, some tears came out my face. You know what I mean? But I think that when you really love when a woman really loves you, and you do need to express those things, she's probably not going to see that as weakness, because especially if you crying at the right time, when you crying like not to be mean, but like a woman, like a girl, you crying all the time, every time the eggs is not cooked a certain way, you crying. That shit is corny in itself. So yeah, just know how to express yourself, but in a way where you're still you're being a man. You're not allowing yourself to be stuck into what society is now, because there is some level of demasculation or whatever that's happening, obviously, because and I think that's just the reality. You know what I mean? I guess people could say I get my nails done, so I'm participating in it, I'm perpetuating it. But I mean, whatever. I like my nails done. I've been getting my nails done since I was like 13. I ain't always get color on them all the time, but I remember I liked it just getting pampered or whatever. It felt good. So I think that it's like I don't know how many niggas is DL. I don't know. And I guess that's just the fear of women that they got, that niggas is going to be DL. But I think like you gonna know if your nigga DL. You gonna know. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna come out. Like you like this. Yeah, like I think it's funny. Like you got a nigga, he never cheating on you, but he always with his niggas. Every time, every day, this niggas with his niggas all the time. Yeah, he probably getting some head of some shit. I don't know, but if your real worry is about a nigga being DL or not, I think that you should be like, I guess, just more open for conversation. Maybe let them know. I think people only hide and lie about what they think you're going to not accept. Not to say you got to accept a nigga who want to suck dick. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, like, maybe given that maybe
Yeah, just land there. You fucked up.
I'm
This
saying
is when he knew he fucked up.
No, I'm not saying, but no, I think that people only lie. Like I've had some girls try to like, I don't know if they was really into the shit or not, but they was talking about pegging and all of that. You know what I mean? Trying to see if I'm with the shit, I guess. And I'm like, I ain't with it. But I feel like essentially that's the right way to.
You guess.
No, I'm not with it. I'm not in the.
No, I know you're not with it. If you said they wanted to see if you was with it, you guess. No,
I don't know. But I'm saying that they made it such a like not a cool thing that I wanted to get involved. But like if I was doing that, I would have been able to say, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? All right, yeah, let's go. I'm with it. I'm down with that. So I think that's the way to let it be known. Like, yeah, you know, my lad, maybe you could lie. I don't know. You know, you could lie to get the truth. Like, yeah, my last boyfriend was gay, you know what I'm saying? He was bisexual or whatever. And I loved him to death, you know what I mean? And then next you know, that nigga might let you know, like, yo, oh, you fuck with bi niggas? Yeah. Nigga was with the shit. Yeah, we used to go to gay club together and all of that. And then he'd probably reveal it to you, like, oh, yo, that's crazy. Cause you know, yeah, because I think that, like I said, when you put up this thing of where, because I don't care if my girl's on the DL, I'm gonna be only tight. I'm not able to watch. I'm not gonna be able to get involved. So I don't know what the. I guess I don't know the difference between a nigga being, because I don't know. I'm not involved. I don't know. It's that Is that much of a problem in the world? There's so many people doing it. Is it really happening like that? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I get you. You're right. Let me land because I don't know. I don't know. I don't have. I can't even say I don't have friends.
How can men be able to express themselves without sounding DL? Well, first of all, men have an appearance. He's got a certain way he dressed, certain way he looks. That community has their colors, so they already you can already identify, and they're happy. They go lucky. They already are happy. There's certain things like pineapple swingers. They have this thing that we identify. If you don't know the lingo, you don't know about it, then you're not in the loop. So appearance would be one thing, but your body language. Most people that work out, they got a posture. They got a thing about them. You feel me? How they look, how they stand, how they walk. You feel me? DL or however ever people. I don't know. They got a you feel me? A walk about them or they have certain body language that you could pick on. Way how they talk, how they move, how they you feel me? It's certain things that you be able to pay attention to differentiate to know. This is a man. He's expressing himself like a man. Communication. Somebody that is going back and forth with you probably has those tendencies. A man is going to go directly to what can we do to solve this problem. If a man is not going directly to problem solving, then yeah, you may have somebody expressing some DL tendency. And behavior. A man wants to protect. He's not trying to. He's all. I know. Well, I can speak for myself. In the back of my mind, wherever I go, I'm always on awareness and just protection mode. Protect mode. Make sure there's no threats, and we're gonna come. We came safe, and everybody leaves safe. So that's just me myself. I'm on that. Can't speak for every man and what DL man what he walks in the room with, but my expression as a man, my behavioral trait is always on some protective. Minimize the threat, de-escalate, and make sure that we came safe and we leave safe. You feel me? So those are some of the expressions I know as me as being a man my whole life. You dig? Those are some of it to answer your question. Y'all want to answer, ladies? You jump out. Last question. Should how a woman dress in a relationship be different than when she is single? We'll start with Reese.
No, I think that you should dress the way that you're going to dress, regardless of the fact if you're in a relationship or not. You should always respect yourself. So I feel like you wouldn't be your true self if you're in a relationship and you're just not dressing that way because you're with that person. I do think that there's times that you have to dress differently. Like if you're going to work, you may work in a business office, you may have to dress businessy. So I do think that, like, if you're going to an all white event, you might have to wear all white. But I don't think that you should. I think that you should have respect for yourself before you have respect for somebody else. And if you're somebody who wants to go outside half naked when you're single, and then when you get in a relationship, you want to dress like a nun, I feel like you're just, not living your own true self. So I feel like, honestly, if you're going to dress that way, just dress that way if that's what you want to do. I mean, there's going to be people that will accept it, and there's going to be people that won't accept it. But I feel like you should dress how you feel comfortable. I'm gonna land with that.
Respectfully, Lashonda, how should women dress? Should how women dress in a relationship be different than when they're single?
No, I agree with everything Marie said. Nah, you got to be yourself, period. And if you liked me that I dress that way, that's it. I think it goes back to something that Dirty had said too, is like, talk about it beforehand when you're dating. Like, if you want me to change my clothes because now I'm in a relationship, that should have been set up front. Like, these are my expectations of dating. These are my expectations of a relationship or a marriage or whatever. If you got those crazy ideas, I think you should just say them and be honest with the person and not be like, oh, okay, we're married now. Now you can't wear any of those clothes. You got to buy a whole new wardrobe, something crazy like that. Um, I think you just need to be upfront and honest. But I think people, if you accept me for who I am and the way that I am, then that's the way it should be. I don't think anyone should change who they are to fit in a relationship. I don't think that's gonna work. I land.
Sunny Moon. Should how a woman dress in a relationship be different than when she is single?
It depends on the circumstances that are the places that you are in. Um, for myself, if I'm with, children, I'm gonna dress like a mom. There's no reason for me to dress like I'm going by myself, right? Because I'm gonna get dirty, stuff are gonna spill on me. If you're with children, just know you're gonna get dirty. Some women don't mind still dressing like they're going by themselves, but I would encourage you not to because it's not smart. It's dumb. You're going with kids, you're gonna get dirty. If I'm going by myself, I'm gonna be more revealing. I'm gonna be, especially if it's hot. I'm gonna dress the way I would dress if I wasn't in a relationship. So I would say, we if you are that's worried about who's worried about how they dress, of course, have conversations, and yeah, definitely be true to yourself. But again, there's a balance. It can be a balance, you know, what I mean? Depending on how you're running your ship. And I learned.
The dirt. Should how women dress in a relationship be different than when she is single?
No, I think like we was on the show before when Ant was talking about people wearing masks. That's what it feels like. At that point, I feel like a lot of women's clothes are very sexual, and I think that you might not want that if you don't want to get that attention. I'm not saying you gotta dress like a Muslim and walk around fully covered all day long, but I think that especially now too, it's like it's changed. Like women clothes is more stripper like now. I don't know. Maybe I'm not a woman, so I don't. But for me, like it's like I remember I was in Atlanta. This girl was wearing some shit. I was like, yo, I swear stripper had that on. We was at Walmart. You know what I mean? She had it on at Walmart. So it's like, I think that it's like if you dress like that normally, like you said, like they said too, like somebody else said, I forgot what I said, but if you accepted her like that when y'all got together, I guess that's what you into. Some niggas like that. Some guys like their girl to be, attracted to other, by other dudes or whatever to get attraction, like almost like some cuck type shit. They might not want to see the nigga fuck their girl and nothing like that, but they just want to know that, oh yeah, she got people looking at her, but she's mine type thing. And I don't think that's a bad way to look at it, but I just feel like I think, and I hate to quote people, but I remember the nigga Tyrell had a post. He was saying that he said to his daughter, if you dress like a police person and it's not Halloween, you know what I mean? Why are you dressed like a police if you're not a police? So it's like, if you dress like that and somebody sees you and thinks that about you, I'm not saying that you're just taking on some weird shit, but you can't. I don't think you can really be too mad at their assumptions. If I had a fucking yarmulke on and somebody thought I was Jewish, I wouldn't be mad if they thought that. I'm not Jewish though, so it's like if you're dressed like a person who is producing sexuality or who might seem like they're very open with that, I would be not shocked at that. And if you're in a relationship, I don't think you want to carry that. And even if you're looking for a relationship, it's like I always laugh at girls. I had a joke I did on stage about like all these girls in their fucking their dating profile pictures, they be like bend over in the picture, and then you read their bio is like, don't be coming at me with no sex. You think you bent over in the picture? Like, what do you think I was going to be thinking about you? You thought I was about to ask you what your favorite book was? like, what are you talking about?
It started with that first, at least.
It's like, what do you want me to think about? Like, I'm thinking about you bend over with them pants off. So I feel like you know, it should be definitely have some be who you are, but I think that let your dress kind of represent what you're looking for and what you want and and what you don't want. Don't dress like that if you don't want that.
Respectfully.
And I'll land with that.
Should how a woman dress in a relationship be different than when she is single? Um, make sure y'all see me for this. Um, because I grew up in church, I guess that's why I like dresses. This is why I like classy. Because I went, you feel me? Every Easter I had an Easter suit, and I just like looking tailored. I like groomed up. You feel me? And because I'm like, and just I agree with y'all. How you get her is how you get her is how you met her. How you met her is how you get her. You feel me? If that's what she was wearing, then yeah, do her. However, me
No.
myself, I like dresses. I like groomed up. I like looking. You feel me? Classy, all that bougie, whatever. Um, damn, I did have. I should have wrote it down. The note. Um, should people when they're single? What was it? Should we? Oh, that's what I wanted to say. The women, y'all said be yourself. I'm not ashamed at your answer, but I disagree with that point to where as a woman representing yourself and as like you feel me, as when when we grow up, we wanna represent ourselves in a better fashion, better way. You feel me? So all women, I don't think is that y'all shouldn't be wearing jeans or you shouldn't whatever. Y'all wear what y'all want to wear. Self expression is you. However, just like Durr said, if you in your picture with your motherfucking, spandex and you at the damn gym, but I can't see no equipment. All I see is your ass. Then come on. What are we doing? However, this is what it come to where you got niggas be thirsty, thirst trapping out there. And self expression is the thing. You feel me? First impression, we go off of that, anything. So a guy is looking at that. Guy is looking at your photos, how you express yourself. This is the first thing that's in his mind, seeing that. You feel me? And when she's looking at your photos, if she's seeing, you feel me, bunch of a bunch of dudes in your shit, guns, and you feel me, other shit. That this is what she's seeing. We all got certain expression of what we're doing, and our first joint is social media. A lot of it is on social media already. You feel me? And we got it confused on how we're using it to where, like you said, should we dress different? Self expression is cool because I'm in the style. My son got a clothing line puzzle piece. I got a clothing line called PM. You feel me? I like fashion. You feel me? Do this shit. However, just being an artist, artistic, even with the music, you feel me? Art, painting, there's different avenues of, expressing yourself to keep it on the dressing. I think decorum, that's what we gotta keep. We gotta keep some damn decorum. You feel me? I ain't gonna say everybody gotta be suited and booted and dressed up and hard bottoms and button ups and shit like that. Nah. But yeah, let's button ups and some hard bottoms once in a while is all right. Looking nice, tailored, groomed up, nice cut. You feel me? That's all right. That's all right, gentlemen, to look like that. You dig? And ladies, it's all right to groom yourself. Take some time. You feel me? Even if it's for your partner or it's for somebody you're attracting, but to be, you feel better about yourself, and it's just how we want to go out there. We want to, you feel me, feel good. Even you going out looking good could inspire somebody else to want to do that tomorrow. So it's not that you feel me. You should be wearing some slutty or whatever shit, but yeah, express yourself. You feel me? Decorum. Let's get some decorum going on. That's what I feel. I don't think it's whether you're single or in a relationship. I think it's just period. You dig? Shit. Final thoughts. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, no, I have none. I have none.
Ladies, final thoughts. We land.
I'm good.
I ain't got no closing monologue for today.
Thank you for answering my question, especially for the guys. This is something that definitely needs to be talked about more, expressing so we can get an idea of what we're looking for within the man and different type of man. So I do want to thank you guys. And thank you, Dayla, for even.
I want to thank everybody for the questions. Thank you for those are some awesome questions. Hopefully, somebody answer. You already know. You at home when you watch this back, you know what to do, man. Let me hear what you got to say in the comment section. Let me see. And if sure nobody got no final thoughts, we're gonna close this thing on now. I ain't got no closing thing for you, no final thoughts for you, but like I said, man, like, share, subscribe. I'm glad you tuned in. Fight family. You already know. To the next one, man. Oh, HSA tomorrow. Tune in at 8. You already know. Tap in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your destination. Please remain seated until you have properly processed. Keep your mind clear until next time.
Land your plane, land your plane, land your plane.